Hello, this is Goku Photo 71, and I'm back this time to talk about Lego Star Wars. Not Lego One Piece. So I do collect Lego Star Wars. I have a couple sets here. Wait. But we're not going to be talking about these sets. I'm not going to be reviewing them. They're older sets for the most part. I'm going to be talking about the Lego Death Star set that is coming out at the end of the year because everybody is talking about how the Lego Death Star can only be so big, can only make it so big. So let me grab my Lego Death Star set, and of course it had to break this bad boy. People are going to say, that's not the Lego Death Star. Yes, this actually is. You can't really see it that well. Let me tip it up. Right there's the Emperor. But this is an example of how a Lego Death Star, and this is not what they're going to do, but the Lego Death Star doesn't have to be the traditional round shape. I just wanted to, that this is only here to demonstrate that it doesn't have to be that. If you don't know, this area, the Emperor's Throne Room, is actually in a spire. It's actually like in a tower going up. It's not even in the Death Star proper. And so this is a really cool set. And so we already have the concept where they're already making inaccuracies because they have to, because that was in the last Lego Death Star. And I can imagine it will be in this new one. And I'm going to talk about what I think they're actually going to do and what I think they can do to get to that price point and that piece count that they're probably going to have. But the first concept I want to talk about is the fact that a Lego Death Star has to be round. Well, no, it doesn't. Or spherical. No, it doesn't. If you make it a half sphere, you can fit this inside of it. You can make the Death Star unlimitedly big. They're not going to do that. They're not going to have, they may have a mini scale version of this for the set. They're not going to have something this big fit in there, but they might have something with a cockpit that has one figure. You could have something big. You could literally make a Death Star if you did it half shaped. You could literally make a Death Star where you could have 5 of these in there. These are crazy claims, but when you think about it, we are limiting ourselves to what we can do with the Death Star because we want it to be round. We want it to be spherical. Sorry, I keep saying round. I mean spherical. And that's great, and that's what they're going to do. Let me be very clear. When I'm bringing up these examples, I'm just saying if we step back as fans and we expect something and we just want them to make the best product they can, making it a half sphere makes it where it is centered on there and it can be as big as you want it to be. It could be as big as a table. And yet again, when you have, and I don't have the UCS Millennium Falcon, but when you have the Millennium Falcon, it only goes so high. And so I can make it bigger. It can only go so high. With the Death Star, you could have it be the same perimeter, or even bigger than the UCS Millennium Falcon, but you have taller, so it's a lot more pieces. You could make, believe it or not, you could make a $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 Death Star if you did this method. Now, what are they actually going to do? Well, what they're going to do, my best guess, is a lot of the bottom area is probably not going to be accessible because what I think most of that is going to be is it's going to be built into the foundation with a gigantic stand. It's going to have a stand. The stand isn't going to be to display it. It's going to be to hold it up. It's going to be to make it the way it is. Probably going to have a stand, probably bigger than this thing's perimeter. It's going to have this huge stand, and then it's going to have something built into it to hold it into place. And then it will have a few rooms in the bottom section, but I think most of the rooms are going to be in the top section. Now, I was talking about this set earlier. Let me bring it back over. And I was talking about how can you incorporate this into it. And my idea is to have modular sections, very much like what they're doing with Harry Potter, where you can take things out and put things in. And so to get to that price point, to get to that piece count, you could have mini builds like this, like a docking station. Different things that and you can also do this with the destruction of the Death Star, where you have, because I do think it's going to be paneled, but I think it's going to have an interior where you could have the damaged sections. You take these pieces out and then you put in the damaged sections because they're going to have a different build. That's how you get there. You make something for literally everyone. That's how you get to that price point. That's how you do it. It's an idea of creating things for both groups. People that want to display model and people that want to play model, you can have things that are modular and that work. That's what I think they're going to do. They may not do the modular thing where you can take out modules. If they don't, that's a loss. But I don't think they're going to make it so big that you can fit an X-Wing in it. That's what I think they're going to do. That is what I think is the most logical way. The Death Star doesn't have an upper limit. It's just how you design it has an upper limit. If you design it like the old one, yeah, you can't make that much bigger. But the old one also didn't have a stand. And you think about, a stand, having it like raised above. Well, no, if you build a stand, like a thick stand, something about that big going up, that can hold a lot. Remember, they have skyscrapers that look like they shouldn't exist, but they build a foundation that functions and works. When you think about how things are built, you just got to build them from the bottom up structurally. So I could talk a lot more about this, but I won't. I'll leave this at, that's what I think they're going to do. I can't wait to see what it is. Oh, and minifigure count, I'm saying 40. This was Goku for some 1, and I'll see you next time, YouTube.